All right, I'm gonna get started. Let's talk about what I want to do today. So I have sort of accomplished my original goal with Stanley, which is to run my own my own binary or my own game with my Atari 2600 emulator, and it's working. So I should just go ahead and demonstrate that now. Cargo run, tic tac toe bin. Um, so then I can play tic tac toe here, which is, very exciting. I should stream this game on Twitch. You can play it again. Seems to go the same way every time, just a draw. But the thing is that is that my game doesn't touch most of the sort of capabilities or that kind of stuff um, for the Atari 2600. In fact, like I hard coded a couple colors because there's only like three colors on the whole thing, and this didn't actually work, but it does now. So hello colors.bin front row. Interesting. Hello colors is 0. Oh, I must have done something wrong. Hold on, let me go back. That's going to be in Atari kernels. Hello colors. Yeah, so that's the right size. So I could just move. I must have done something wrong here. The colors have been this dot Stanley. Colors dot band cd minus. So then if I run cargo run all colors dot bin, so then I get all these colors. Now these things are like, man, these things are all really sensitive to specifics of timing, and a lot of other sort of like things can kind of mess this up. And I'm going to be making some pretty broad changes as we go forward. So I want to make sure that like this basic stuff still works. And so my workflow is going to be to find an find a ROM that sort of demonstrates a capability of the Atari 2600. In this case, just all of the colors that are available. Um, and then what I want to do is I want to be able to record my input from that, record like the output as far as the screen goes, and then run that in an automated way so that if I break it, I get something useful. So I have an idea for how to do that. We'll see how it goes, but my basic idea here is going to be, let's just open a scratch pad. The basic idea here is going to be to like, one, I'm going to add a flag to my binary to record. That flag records record input. There's a couple other options other than joystick. So the idea is I'll have like just a simple file format that'll say like, okay, so when I record, I do that. I'm going to copy the binary to a location in a test directory. Um, Output a file containing the inputs that I put into the program, and then D, output an image for comparison. Right. So there'll just like be a bundle of stuff there. I might even have a symbol file. We'll see exactly what's going to go in there, but at least there's going to be a file with like metadata, including all the inputs I put into the program. It should be like we might be able to tweak it and edit it, but like my goal is to have this be automatic. Um, so I think that's going to be our first sort of goal here. The second goal is going to be to write a build script to automatically generate tests um, based on those files. So the build script will sort of watch that directory for changes. I've looked. I haven't done any of this stuff with with cargo yet. That keeps happening. I have a plan for the cough, but hopefully I can just get it all out. 1 second. Okay. Still have that tickle. That's unfortunate. So then that build script will sort of uh, build integration tests based on those files, right? And then what I want to do is if hey, it's how's it going? Yeah, it's unfortunate. Haven't been sick for a while, but the cough just kind of keeps going. Actually, I think I'm gonna try and take care of that real quick. 1 second. Make sure I'm unmuted. Okay. We'll see if that helps. Um, so the so, so if there is a diff, I want to output. I want to fail the test, um, but also output a diff image. This is sort of where I had this idea like a long time ago. It's really untenable for things that are sort of, I mean, they're deterministic, but not easily so, um, like websites and stuff like that. Um, but and I think there have been some attempts, but I think they're really flaky. But for the Atari, I should be able to like I have control over like the clock counts and like what the individual like registers are and how things are drawn. I really should be able to find like a way to make that make it so that differences in the images um are uh like pretty deterministic so that I won't get a bunch of false failures. And basically what I want to do, I'm going to try this out, is I'm going to generate um what am I generating? I'm generating I think they're called ppm, is that right? ppm file. Yeah, because they're super simple. ppm file where the so I haven't decided whether I want to have the whole picture. I think I might want to have the whole like picture um where the uh differing pixels are highlighted. So in danger of front loading, I'll just keep this like scratch buffer around and we can revisit it as we go. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess the ray tracer has you do some output in that. Do they do the fully text version or do they do that? Like you can, there's a couple, there's like, Um, where's the Wikipedia one on this? Net BP, PPM, PPM example. Yeah, so you can have like ASCII versions, or like binary versions. So where you have the like header. Um, let's see, there's a PPM example. Yeah, in this case it's ASCII, right? Um, it might be easy enough to just do ASCII. We'll see when we get there. Um, yeah, there's the image out there. So basically, it's just a plain text format. You can after you do all this stuff, you can either put the ASCII values here in a row, or you can put binary data in here too. So, um, and so basically, I'm gonna highlight it. I think, since the resolution is like kind of funky, it's 192 high by 160 wide. I'm gonna have to stretch them out anyway to get like a reasonable resolution, right? Like that's how um, it is technically like narrower in pixels than it is high, but it's wider in a 4:3 aspect ratio um, because the pixels are actually longer. So my goal is to just like quadruple everything, and then for highlighted ones, I want to do like a red pixel like outline. I don't know. It'll look something like this. Red, like 4 times the height, and then like however looks best, but like so original color 1, like on half of the pixel. It didn't work how I wanted it to. And then like on the other half of the pixel would be like new color. Like that. So that somebody could inspect it uh, and like zoom in on the pixel and see like what's changed. I think that won't make too big a file, because basically it'll have to be just for times 192, which is like 200-ish, so it's like 800 tall. I think that's perfectly fine. Um, and so I think that's what I want to do today. I'm going to start with this adding this flag, seeing if I can record the inputs. We'll have to do it. The question is, I don't think Rust has any built-in like file format stuff. Rust standard library config file formats. I don't think there is. That does not surprise me. That's definitely not. So I might just make my own, because it's really just going to be a very simple thing to parse. So, why don't we get started? We'll just start with that flag. Let's go. We'll just say this is our uh, plan, so we can keep it. And I'll keep it in as not get ignored, so I don't just leave it around forever, which I think I'm in danger of doing. But all right, so let's open up our main.rs. Let's do this one piece at a time, and we'll just make a new option. let's make it a bool. Like a debug and disassemble R, and we'll just call this chord. And then it's saying, why don't you have this word? Comma. Need a comma up here too. It's saying to ignore it, but we can. Let's do our map to our comma T key to, we'll just do run. Let's see, let's do run. Okay, so it requires a file name. Let's see what happens if we run it with help. So we should record. Why don't we actually have some information about record? Because that will be unclear if... I had some descriptions for some of this stuff. How did I get that? Print version information. The clap thing. Description. Yeah, definitely need rest in there. Yeah. Author version, long about, value parser, default value, print help information, name of the person to greet. So they had, oh, it's just a comment above. Okay. Wild, okay. Then why did breakpoint not say to do hex the, let me see that. I would expect if that worked that the comment for breakpoint would be to do a hex take an argument. Maybe it's smart enough to not put to-dos in there. Let's see. It uses dot comments, does it? Yes, it does. There you go. Good eyes, it's you. I'm still like really not used to the dot comment system. I know it's like the best thing since sliced bread, and especially like having tests in your dot comments. It is like just not familiar to me, which isn't an excuse, just an explanation. So if I do a dot comment, and then I say record your session, taking a screenshot when you exit. I think that's probably going to be the easiest. I thought about adding a button, but like I don't know how you would do multiple screenshots. I mean, maybe that would be a good thing to do if you have one where you want to like test multiple things in one case, but I'm gonna start simple. Yeah, I'm gonna start simple. Taking a screenshot when you these are the screenshot and recording session replaced. And oh, you know what? I probably need a name here. Yeah, so let's make this an option string. A directory or placed in the tests. Let's call it snapshots for now. Maybe there's a better name for this. This is like, I'll just call snapshots. If we come across a better name, I will use it. All right. Snapshots. Test system. All right. Yeah. So I think that's probably a good enough explanation. Need a see how that looks when I run it. But it's not a big mess. Oh, that's great. Clap is really nice. I'm really glad I didn't try and do all this stuff myself. So record your session, taking a screenshot when you exit. The screenshot and recording of your session I need to are placed in the test snapshots arg directory. Can I, not to get too nitpicky, but I would love to like name the argument something other than name. So in this case, yeah, so in this case it's config file. So let's see what that looks like. Value name. Yep. Cool. So I can quit that. I feel like there's no reason to have a short option here. Record option. What are we going to call this? Snapshot name. And so then snapshot name. And I think that probably breaks right around there. Your okay. Actually, since it just wanted to break there, I can do that. Great. Okay. So that looks like this. So record your session, taking a screenshot when you exit. Okay. So what do I want this to do? Basically, I'm gonna try and do this in the least hacky way possible. I want to have it stick something between. I don't actually really care about what the keyboard input is, and the reason I'm thinking that is because eventually, like, I would like that to be remappable. I would like there to be like a different concern about sort of keyboards and what's going on right now, or whatever the inputs, because you could actually have a joystick on your computer, and I want everything to work the same, and I want it to record the same way too. So it's the renderer, I believe, that's doing all that. Handling events. And it's returning its own like events here. So what I would like to do, I think, is if I'm recording, because I need to do something when it quits too. Um, I'm gonna try not to overthink this. I just hate to put like another if sort of statement in here. I'm trying to think if there's like a good way to sort of wrap all this up. Um, like a quick way. Maybe I can like pass. I don't want to get stuck on this, so I'm gonna think it through for just a second. What if my and then if it seems like it's gonna be too complicated to do, what if when I set up my renderer, I can like pass in like something that like records everything. Um, and then basically somewhere in, let's take a look at the renderer. Handle events. This returns a window event. Um, I'm thinking like it would just like it just grab my result, pass it, optionally pass it through to this callback. Um, in that case, like everything should work that way, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna think. I think I'm gonna not go down that road. I think I'm gonna do this stupid thing and just do some conditional garbage because I think what I'm getting at is that basically what I want to be able to do is like pass more than one event handler. Um, this being this being one, right? So we could imagine doing render dot add handler. But like I'm in control right here of when this happens. So I'd have to like still call something here. Yeah, yeah, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I think that's like a pretty good way to do this eventually. So I might keep that on the back burner for a little while. 1 second while I check on my messages. Okay. Seems good. Nothing I have to handle right now. Okay, good. Um, so instead, I'm just going to do it the old fashioned kind of gnarly way. Yeah. Boy, I don't love it, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So if uh, I'll probably have something set up already that'll do all this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. We basically just make another. This is where some people. Nah, we'll just do like let mute recorder. Say record. Uh, map it. So this can be an option, right? Actually, interestingly, it's mutable. Does that let me like mutate the thing in the option? I'm gonna just assume so. Um, so regardless, we'll just do this map. Record. This is called, what do I call this? Snapshot name. And then I'm gonna give this. I don't have this yet, but I'm gonna be like, or I'm gonna say, um, new. Actually, I can probably just be interesting. Do this. All right. So then down here, in my handle events, I'll have an optional recorder, so I can just do let um, let some recorder. Shadowing here, I don't love that. Think about naming. When I when I am not clever about naming, I can just I just call it the type it is. Um, so if let's sum, then we'll do something else. We'll just do our normal thing. In fact, we can probably just do the normal thing. Yeah, we can probably just do this a little bit. Can't break yet, so we'll do this afterwards. We don't have to worry about this. So I'll just say render dot handle events, which returns an event. Let event. I had a double dot there. What does it say? Handle events is not interesting. Curious what a double dot tries to do. So then I just do event here. And we're going to say recorder update event, and we'll pass in a reference to our system. We'll probably need to I think we just need to read from it, and we'll need to pass in the event so that it moved. So I think this is kind of like the API that I'm going to go for right now. Yeah, okay. So we'll just need to write this recorder with the right API. So .rs. Right, and it's going to do a bunch of stuff here. I may need more setup for it. Because, let's see, what have my plan. So record inputs, I can do that. Copy binary to a location in a test directory. So I'll need to know where the binary is so that I can sort of make a copy. I think the good thing is that I like read that file and then let go of the file descriptor because I just read it into a buffer. Um, and then output a file containing the inputs, and then output an image for comparison. Okay, so we'll say pub struct quarter. I don't know what's going to be on it yet, so we'll include it in the module tree so that we're getting compilation errors, which will be nice. We need the recorder. Render recorder. Okay. Yeah, no new for that item, so we'll just go ahead and start implementing this as we get it. So, impl quarter. New. Do we know anything about what that's going to take yet? It's going to take the what is that? Snapshot path, I think. Is that what I called it? Snapshot name. Okay, and that could just be. I can probably take ownership of that. It's already a string. Does that? Because it's not used anywhere else. I'm gonna do that. Return itself. And we'll return itself. Method update not found. And we're going to say it takes an event, and that is a use crate. Window event. Need to spell renderer right. That would be important. I'm not sure what's happening there, but that's. So we'll take a reference to a window event, and then a use crate system. Take a reference to our system. That won't return anything. New is private. I need this to be public and this to be public. Can't. No method update found. I think that we just don't have. Oh, it needs to be. Update needs to be. Probably mutable, but we'll get there. Use of move value occurs here. Yeah. Yeah, let's actually remove that mute from MainRS for now. Recorder. It wants me to borrow the recorder. Because I'm passing a reference to cell. Is that right? Probably. Let's see. I need more information than that. Okay, expected struct recorder found reference. You can probably remove the explicit borrow. It told me to borrow though. Previous iteration of the loop. I see. Just not implement the copy trait. Borrow this field. Yeah. I think that it. Interesting. This is running up against my limitation of knowledge. The difference between a ref and a borrowed value. It's just like saying, like, I'll have to look that up. Unless somebody listening happens to know off the top of their head what's going on there. I have just forgotten what's different between this, the keyword ref, and having a reference here. I see. It's like trying to borrow. So I'm trying to match against the interior here by saying, give me some reference. Interesting. So if I like did thingy, and if I looked at the type of that, actually don't have to do that. I think there's something with Rust Analyzer where I can put the type in there. Okay, I think I get what's going on there. That's a little bit surprising to me. That'll be some reading for later. Okay, so then I run it. So then if I cargo run, cargo run, record colors, and then take that code DASM. So it shouldn't actually be doing anything right now, but it's showing that I didn't break anything. Then at some point when I quit, I'll take a snapshot. Okay. Let's commit that. Add recorder struct initialize. When events happen. Gonna try and do small commits as we go. Cool. So I have the recorder. So what do I need for my output? Let's take a look at our plan again. So I'm going to record those inputs. So basically what I need to record those inputs and play them back eventually is going to be basically just the clock time that they happened at and what the input was. Um, I think that's all I need. That clock time should be deterministic. So we'll see. Um, I guess the at would want to deref it, but the ref changes how the match works. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking that that's what was going on. Is that it's like how to tell it to match the inside. So you're saying you would use. I think what you're suggesting makes more sense. Um, some um, you're suggesting this. So that actually seems to compile and work just fine. Um, yeah, okay. That's cool. I'm so the ref keyword, I want to avoid like saying it's confusing just because I don't understand it. But I will say that this reads a lot better to me, at least with my sort of limited understanding of what this actually means. But yeah, I think you're right. It has something to do with how the sort of pattern matching engine like grabs values out of it. Cool. Thanks. I will do that. All right. So then the next plan is to actually start recording something. So that means that I need to do some setup, which means I'm gonna need to get into like how to make directories in Rust, which is fine, um, but a little bit new to me. And actually, I do believe that this should be. Like, I think this should be failable, and we should have an error. But we'll see. We'll get there. So recorder.rs. So I do think this will be. I think Clippy might complain at me if I do a result self. Um, maybe self doesn't work in a result. We need an error. That's right. That's right. Self. I believe I have a error type. I have a result type, so I should just use that. Use create result. And then it says, yeah, okay. Okay, apparently Clippy doesn't mind. I thought at one point it complained like if you don't return your actual self from new. I thought that was bad juju, but like sometimes new is failable. And I would hate to be like new and then like have some other method to that I have to call to like set everything up. So, um, at least for right now. All right, so I got snapshot name string. So it's gonna be interesting because what if there's spaces in there? May have to look up how to sort of URL encode that. So standard library. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a directory. If a directory already exists, I'm just going to error out. If any of the files that I need to be there, actually maybe not if the directory already exists. If any of the files that I'm need to be there are, actually I could be kind of brute force about it. Just overwrite them. They'll be in version control. Still might be surprising. Yeah, I think just if the directory is there. So, directory. So that's WASI stuff. File system file, create directory. Nightly only. On file system file. WASI extensions. It's all nightly only. Is there not a way to like... There's got to be a way in the standard library to create a directory, right? Am I insane? Let's take a look at FS. Dir, is it dir entry? Let's see. Create dir. There it is. So we'll do create dir all. Can the path be relative? Yes. Yes, the path can be relative. What if you're executing it from somewhere else, though? That'd be like a... I mean, maybe I don't worry about that. So I want to create dir all. So we'll do use fs. Here we'll fs create dir all, and maybe there's like a way to get a path to build, path new, path new. That's right. So path dot join, I think maybe is what I'm looking for. That seems right. Path new, join, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Join, and it creates an own path buff, adjoined with self, see patch to adjoin the path. Huh. Path dot push. I think I'm good with this. Join. Let's see. Do path equals and it's standard path. Standard must be standard fs. Standard path. Path. So we'll do path new, and we're going to do it from our current directory, and we're going to do tests, and we're going to do, and that's as far as we'll go. And then let's see, with join, it creates the separator for us. So probably needs to be, well, we'll see. Join returns a new path buff. Path dot join. Snapshot name. I'm not going to worry too much about URL encoding this. It's mostly going to be me using this. Be a jerk and shadow my own. Actually, maybe I'll just do this. Where does it want me to use semicolon? Path is not a value. Oh, right. Not a method found in result order. Okay, so I need to actually unwrap that in main. That's what I was talking about before. So if I map then do recorder new, snapshot name, and then so I want, so we could, comes out with an option U. So what is it complaining about? Try wrapping the expression in some. Cannot use that in a closure that, yeah, okay. So I have, okay, so if I just go back, I have this, and then I can do map. So I have a result of option I want, or an option of result, and I want a result of option. I know there's a way to do that. I just can't remember it. Rest. Transpose. So it's the library. So I think I can, yeah. There's a really nice tool in Haskell that I really like that where you can like search for the type signature of a function and it'll like pull it up for you, and I often miss that, but I'm sure there's something here. Hmm. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Rest option of result to result. So map or this is from years ago, so let's see if something has changed. Oh, it is transpose. Why did I not find it? Moving too fast. There it is. Good deal. Nice. Searching just failed me. To transpose, to take anything in particular? No, it really just moves it around. Okay. And then we'll just do a question mark there. Okay, so then if I do this, and then escape. Awesome. Okay, so that worked. Thank you, Situ, for the assistance. Always appreciate it. Um, cool. So I made that path. Um, the question is whether to write to the file as I go. Might have to like keep a reference to an open file. Might want to make sure that I drop it at the right time. I don't like that idea. Might just stick a string on there and just add to it. Um, yeah, I'd have to remember whether strings can be updated that way. Maybe there's. I think I could just use like a string buffer or something. Or, um, or something that buff writer. So we get the buffer. So wraps writer. So I actually need something that. Okay, so this is just the buffered writing. So then I need something that implements write. Let's see, there's got to be something down here. filed files. Write is implemented for mute U8 by copying into the slice of writing data. Note that writing updates the slice to point to the yet unwritten part. The slice will be empty when it has been completely overwritten. The number of bytes written exceeds the size of the slice. Operation will return short writes. That does not sound like what we need. Maybe I do need just a file that I add to. Oh, you know what? I can close it when I want to. Because I know when we're quitting. Yeah, so I don't have to like implement drop or anything like that. So let's see how that goes. And then it won't be buffered, but I think it's fine. I won't be doing that many inputs, so I'm really not super worried about that. So we're gonna say this is recording, and that's a fs dot file. I probably did something terribly wrong here. Not dot file, right? It's not how module lookups work in this language. Okay. That's a good question, is it? What language is this? My day job is in Ruby, which like I'm a little over, but it's a fine language, but yeah, it's just like it breaks everything about my brain to switch back and forth. So I will say, well, never mind. I don't want to go on a rant about it. Maybe one day somebody can poke me about Ruby. I have feelings about it being used as like an enterprise application uh, language, which I feel like a lot of people do, but for some reason that's people still keep building their stuff. Okay, fs file. So um, recording file.new. Let's make sure that I do this right. So what does create do versus open? Create. Open the file in write-only mode. This function will create a file if it does not exist. We'll truncate it if it does. See open options for more details. I don't really need to do anything special. I can just open a text file. Okay, and then open is like if you want open is if you want to be able to like read or read write or all those options. Okay, that makes sense. It's not a binary file. I don't really care about that. So file.new. And it's going to be in path dot join all this sure dot text because it's the 90s then what's it complaining about? Yep, dots all dots all day. At least it knows that it's a common mistake, and it's like maybe it didn't want to do that. Great. It's available. I need to create the directory before I make the file. Okay. Yep. I gotcha. Let's not implement the copy trait. To move there, borrowed after move. Can I borrow it? Will I need to clone it directly? That's the question. I can borrow it. Okay. Uh, should I just borrow it everywhere so I don't come up against that problem again? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so then when I run this again and hit escape, I should. Test colors recording.txt. There it is. There should be nothing in there. I also didn't close it, which is bad manners, I think. But I think maybe Rust does that when things go out of scope. Um, in fact, let me see. Do I need to close this at all? Files are automatically closed when they go out of scope. Errors detected in closing are ignored by the implemented drop. Use the method sync all of these handles, or if this to be handled directly. I don't care. Which is a great place to be in. Let's see. What else do I need? I think that's all I need. I'll need to do something with the buffer of the system when I do that, but I think I'm making progress. Recorder. Okay. I may need to have this be mutable to mess with the file, but let's see. Self. And it implements the right. So what are... Right size as a... I don't think this is what I want. That's cool though. You can just kind of make a... Just make a file. So I feel like I should be able to print line to if it implements right, then I could probably just do uh, uh, maybe it's the right macro. Right ln. Yeah, right. So does whatever just need to be right? We'll find out. So we'll do this test here. We'll do right ln. That's our recording. Hello world. This might be failable too, so I may have to return a result here. Right format. in the current scope. Is that saying I need to pull something into scope? I wish I could see more. Use standard IO, right? Okay. Use standard IO. Right. Cannot borrow self. Yep. So be a mute self. Then I probably need to update something on. Cannot borrow recorder is behind a reference. Main. Recorder. Behind a reference cannot be borrowed as mutable. This might be a bit of a problem. Hmm. As mute. It is not declared as mutable, which we recorder option. Thank you. It's going to be the theme of the stream, which is thank you, is it too. So we should see a number of cat tests recording. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's all input stuff. The question is, let's actually look at what event that is. Here, instead of just saying hello world, we'll say debug whatever event that is. Doesn't implement debug. Well, it will soon. Copy. Saying input type doesn't, but there's no reason it shouldn't. So I don't have any input that should be, I guess it's getting none too. So I'll just have to skip over if it's none. So I should find some inputs here, and then I should have a quit. Bunch of nuns, a quit. Yeah, okay, so I'm getting a none on every less. So I'm getting a none every like time around the loop, which is more than frames. So quit at the very end. And then do I have any joystick ones? Do I have any, what are they called? Input starts and input ends. Yep, cool. So if it's none, I'll just skip it. Which is fine. So that we should be able to work on that next. Pop over to recorder, and basically if let none equals event. Just turn out of this. Yeah, they're saying there's some stuff about results here, so we'll say this is a result. Boy, I messed that up. Oh, hold on. I'll return okay. And return the same here. Copy it down. Okay. Run that again. What is it saying? Expected. Found enum results. I think that's in main. I see. So just quit, which that makes sense. That's the only thing I did. So if I run this and I hit the joystick button and I move it around and I hit some, then cool. So that's sort of the list of inputs that I have. I think I can parse that out pretty well. I think that looks good enough to me. So basically, my format is going to just be like space line separated, and it'll be whatever the frame is, and then the input I want to do, and then I can just pass these inputs. Ah, that's annoying. It'd be a nice way if I could like deserialize it easily, but I don't think it's gonna work. I think I'll just have to. I just think I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and match on a bunch of strings. Um, but so let's get the next part of that. Um, so let me use my, yeah, there we go. Don't need the return here. Don't need this. I'm not using the system, so I will just write line. I feel like there's some writing I want to do. I mean, I could probably just infer all this stuff because it'll be named properly. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the simplest version here. So we're gonna go. Also, I'm just gonna remember that this is a syntax that exists, and then we're gonna put our clocks here. So we're gonna do system dot clocks, and I can't do something complicated like that. So I do need to say system dot clock. I think it's clocks. Let's see. So we'll hit that. We'll move around. We'll do some stuff. We'll play a game. Make sure we don't lose. And then hit quit. And then cat. Test. Cool. And those are the very large number of clock cycles that are happening, that each of these is happening at. That all looks about right. but I think that is good. Yeah. So there's a couple other things I need to do. We're gonna go to our plan. Take a look at that. Maybe I'll just make a commit out of this. But so we're recording the inputs. We've got this done. So we can strike it through. This isn't actually marked down, so it doesn't really matter that much. But strike it through. Copy our binary to a location in the test directory. We can go ahead and do that up front. Output a file containing the inputs. We've done that. And then we're going to output the image. Okay. Let me commit all this. Output log of inputs and the clock cycle they happened on. Okay. So then we need to copy that binary over. Buffer. Let's take a look at main. So this is the file name of the bin. And we read it. And then we have a byte vec. But I don't want that. I just want the file name. So I think we need to go back to our what is this again? This is a snapshot name. And we're going to just do recorder, new, snapshot name, and binary file name. And then we're missing a parentheses. And there we are. So set, I applied 2 arguments instead of 1. Recorder. Binary file name. Take that as a string for now. Do I have any? Do not find value binary file name. Move occurs. Yeah, it's a string. We can borrow it here. Move it here. What happens if we? It's gonna complain if we borrow it, right? Yeah, yeah. We can use it as a reference. I think we can use all of these as a reference. So maybe we actually do just take a reference to each of these. Awesome. So then I just really can just have that be a borrow. Okay. I'm gonna cheat Google Rust copy file location. Contents of one file to another's. Copy. Cool. That's great. I don't really care about that. All I want to do is fs copy. And we're going to go do let's call this binary file path. And then we'll just do copy from binary file path to output binary path dot join, and then we're gonna join it with something binary.bin, really descriptive, but this should be the same across all of them, so I don't have to like. So that's probably failable, right? Yes. And so that should copy that into place. Run it again. Oh, that's not the right thing. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Let's see. Test colors. We have that binary bin. Let's do ls test colors. Yeah, it's the right size and everything. Cool. I'm excited about that. So that was easy. And we can make a commit out of that. That was in our plan. Copy binary. All right, then we get into the interesting thing, which is creating an image for comparison. Now, I really want it to be viewable, the image. The problem is that I don't want. So I'd rather it just be. So the buffer that we're going to pull from is 192. Sorry, 160 wide by 192 high, which gets stretched out as we render this into like a 4:3 aspect ratio, since it's smaller wide than it is tall. I would love this file to be inspectable, like what it should look like. So maybe what I want to do, and I was like, maybe what I should do is maybe I'll just make two files, right? So I'll make like I hate to do that. I was thinking like, let's make a viewer inspectable file that is a ppm file, and then one that is just like a dump of the bytes. I would much rather have them both be the same. I think that's going to be too complicated. Does ppm allow you to like specify like how it's rendered? Let's see. 3.2 is the width and height of the image in pixels. Requires more space than bandwidth. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't see anything about like extending, like overriding the view. Let me just do a quick little search around. Stretch. Defines the scale of values. I wouldn't expect this to work. Um, I was thinking it'd be like the format might have some way of, um, I have some way of defining, yeah, like the displace characteristics of it rather than the actual pixels of it. Yeah, I don't love that. Okay. I was like, I could put the bytes directly into the text, although I don't want it to be unreadable binary trash. So I want it to I'd have to like convert it to hex and then like reread it back out. I don't love that either. Um, yeah, so for now, I'm just going to make two files and let me think about how to make that all better. So, um, yeah. Okay. That should be nice and easy. Find buffer recorder. So, we'll do a match event. We'll just catch all if it's none. Actually, we'll do them all explicitly. If it's none, then we'll return it. Okay. If it's quit, might have to do window event. Yeah. Right, so if I want to do that, if it's window event quit, then I'm going to do something special. Um, in fact, let's just let it fall through. And otherwise, we're just going to record the event, whatever it is, and when it happens. Put that on one line probably. Actually, Rust format should get that for me. Quit. We'll do something special. I think we do need to record when quit happens too. So we'll do this. And then we're gonna just sort of do, what was it? There was a way to just like write a file, right? I think that was like fs write. Okay. So I should just be able to write bytes to it, I believe, because it showed this binary string. So let's see. Um, Sorry, just quickly making sure that nobody needs me. Okay, cool. Sorry. Okay, nobody needs me. Let's keep going. Um, yeah, so then we'll just do fs, right? Um, we need to make a path. We'll need this path, won't we? This is a path buffer, I think. We'll see. I messed everything up. So let's see what's going on here. Unclose delimiter. Oh, I see. Self.path. Join. I will say screen dot the bin file, and we'll say system dot PIA dot buffer, I believe. And that's failable. And it's saying that I missed something. Yeah. No, it's there. Get the parentheses right. And yeah, it's saying something something about the type that I have in there doesn't like. I don't have a size says no compile time. That's correct. And it's required by I don't think there's any reason that needs to be its size. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Not two F's, single F. And then good catch. The trait is not for buffer. So it doesn't like. Maybe I can just. No. What is. Let me look at that. Buffer. Do I have to implement? It's basically just a wrapper over a sized buffer. Can I derive asref? Let's see what Rust says about asref. Just call point 0. Yeah, let's do it. Dot 0. That's it. Okay, yeah, makes my life a lot easier. Okay, so let's run this again. We'll just quit. And then I think I will make a ppm file. Um, Probably. We'll figure it out. I might take a break before I do that. Um, let's see. Screen.ben. Let's see if that makes sense. What is it? Linux X viewer. Hexetic? Is that the thing? I don't know what people use. Let's see if I have anything. Hexdump? Doesn't seem right. Maybe. Let's see. Uh, Help. Display file contents and hexabit decimal. Okay, yeah. Hexdump. Test. Colors. Screen.ben. Okay. It's a lot of. Those could be colors. I'm not sure. Seems like it's big. Screen.ben. It's 122 kilobytes or 1,000 bytes. So let's see. BC 192. It's 160. Yeah, that's much bigger than I would expect. Both sides. Oh, right. Because it's pixel data. Yeah, so it's actually 4 times bigger than that, which actually makes sense. Okay, yeah. Which it doesn't need to be 4 times bigger than this, but that's a thing to fix later. Um, so that does make sense, right? If I do BC and I do 192 times 160 times 4, yes, and that is exactly how large that is. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, get a little bit of water, and then I will come back and uh, output a ppm just for like easy viewing. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, be right back. All right, I just made sure I'm back, unmuted, on the correct scene. I just added all this stuff to a commit, and let's make a ppm for viewing. So um, I do have some binary data there. I could just make. How would I do that? I think I'll just make it the size. No. I think if I just copy every pixel for it, let me do a little bit of math real quick. So BC. So if I have 160. So 192 tall, 4 to 3, divided by 3. So take 64 times 4, 256. So 256 divided by. All right. There's something I have to set in this. So yeah, let's find a calculator. Or just do it in Google. 256 divided by 60. It's 1.6. So that means each pixel needs to be 1.5 times the size it actually is. So what happens if we... trying to think of like how big we'd have to get it to... I want to scale it, but I don't know that I can do that easily. Let's see. Let me look again. And I change control pixel. Yeah, I don't think that makes sense. So then I need to find... How can I find one where I won't need... So that was exactly 1.6, so... This is me. This is some wild guessing and checking because I don't want to do the math. Oh, it's not looking good. It's pretty rough. What can I do here? Oh wait, what am I? Yeah, I need to find... So it should be 256 wide to be... Okay, I'm not gonna get too lost in the ooh, in the details of this. I'm gonna have to figure this out later. Because I don't think there's a good way. I can probably get close enough, right? If I... BC... If I do 160 times... So what would I need to do? Times 1.6. So what if I do times 3? It's 480. So 480 divided by 4, it's 120. 120 times 3, 360. But then I have the problem where 368 divided by 192. Oh, this is a big bummer. Okay. Um. Oh, but like I could just have it be just like a weird different aspect ratio. So 192 times 2, 384. So 384 by 480. So double the height and triple the width. I think that'll work. So I don't just get bogged down and have to do this because I really want to make it simple ppm format. So let's take a look. So the problem is that I'll have to just iterate through each row a, a bunch of times. It's basically just a flat. So let's see if there's like a list of different types. Colors. For each RGB channel, some support. So P6 for binary. What are these numbers here? P6. Width and height of the image in pixels, and 255 is the maximum value for each color. And then the part below is image data, RGB triplets. Okay, that works for me. And we'll do it in binary, I think. So in recorder, we're gonna do something when we hit quit. We wrote this one out. Let's make ourselves a private function. What does it need? This needs the buffer. Okay, so let's do. It needs a lot of information about self. That's fine. So we'll just do a function, print, create, ppm, yeah. Create ppm image, so create ppm, that'll take, I think we can just do that with at self. We can, what do we need? We don't need the event. We do need the buffer. So I think that's just we can take a slice U8. Don't need it to be mutable. We'll just call this a buffer. Width. Size. U size. U size. So I think I have some examples of how we're actually traversing this buffer. So let's take a look. PIA. Buffer, 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 buffer. Oh man, we're doing okay. So we're just we're sort of manually slicing it rather than. I think I can probably take like not windows, like chunks or something. So it returns an iterator, right? It returns an iterator of the chunks. Can I like get the chunks as a slice? No. Panics if chunk size is 0. Starting at the end of chunks. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. So we're probably gonna have to do some kind of gnarly stuff here. Let's see. We'll do create ppm. We'll do that with system dot a dot buffer 0. We'll do that with needs height and width system dot tia dot dot width and height. This is probably failable. I'm pretty sure this does exist. Where is this? If it's not on the TIA. Oh, it's not related to the TIA. Okay, so I just needed to import those. Oh, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking here. It's been a long day. So use create system TIA width height. We probably actually need what is it? Stride. So we actually don't need to pass those through. We just need to pass through the buffer, and then we'll use that information to iterate through it in chunks. Let's take a look at chunks again. So they're yeah, I think that makes sense. Great. Could not. Yeah, we need self dot. Could probably be a free function. Let's return the result. Borrow the buffer. Yep, implicitly returns that. So we'll just return okay. Any problems? Great. We are definitely using height, width, and stride. Oh, we will be. Okay. So our chunk size will always be the stride. So we're just going to do, and then it gives back a slice. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. So we're gonna do 4. Actually, we might not do chunks because we may have to like detect when we're at the next line, because we'll have to like repeat lines multiple times. We could do chunks with the lines, and then do chunks of 4 for that, and then just do those, iterate over those. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so all right, Zetsu, later. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate your uh, very useful backseating. You caught a lot of stuff for me, so um, have a good meal of whatever sort you're going to have. 4 line and yeah, so we'll take a chunk that is the width times the stride and buffer dot chunks stride. What's a U size here? Or U32 with height. Let's U size. That's fine. So with line, we're then going to take 4 pixel in line dot chunks stride. Actually, we're going to do this times. What I figure out was each line. So 192 times 2. Yeah. So each line we're going to do twice. So do this twice. Then we have, so the first thing I'll do is we'll do a file.new create. ppm image. We'll just call this screen.ppm. And then we'll do, let's right line a couple times onto that ppm image. What do we need? P6. P6. So we'll just do a couple of these. The next one is height and width. Is width and height. So let's do width. And should be fine. Uh-oh. Self.path. Great. Let mute. Cool. And then on this last line, we're just going to give it 255. 255. And then we'll start writing the pixel data to it. So, So U8 slice to file. Right, slice into a file. I think I can just take a slice. There's some stuff about unsafe things here I don't need to worry about. Okay. Um, so for each line and for each pixel, and I have to remember that these are backwards, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they are. We can do a pixel. Let's do it. We'll give it a slice. So we'll do right. ppm image. Give it a slice. That is so it's backwards. So it's 0, 1, 2. Pixel 1. Pixel 0. Oh, I guess I just do that with file.write. So right. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I can borrow that. No problem. This is an unused result. Pretty straightforward. And then we're going to actually do this 3 times. This is a little cranky, but we can. So what is it complaining about? I'm amazed that I'm getting this usage thing. Let me try this one. Nope, not that one. How's it working? Oh, I see. It's a clippy thing. File. What does write all mean versus write? That's the question I have. That's not the right one. C is right. That's the one we saw before. Right, all. An entire buffer into the writer. Maybe write all is the right thing to do. Recall write. What is the difference? This is okay. So it wants write all. Let's assume that's right. Okay, and instead of doing 3 writes here, let's just do uh, pixel. Uh, then we'll just let's see if this works how I think it should. Does not like it. Okay. Cannot add. Okay. Is there a concat? Uh, concat. Hmm. Maybe concat bytes. Looks like concat bytes. Um, it's nightly only. It's literals into static string size. Cat sizes. So it looks like there is a. Okay. Primitive slice concat. Okay, so that should actually work. So it takes a slice of slices and then okay. So if I add 3 pixels together and then concat that. Right. There's probably a trait that doesn't exist, so let's see what. This trait was not satisfied. Trait bound. What trait bound? Does it not want me to? Borrow this. What is it complaining about here? It's saying that's not a word. It's totally a word. All right. Okay, and then we'll just do it all again. Here, there's probably a way to. Yeah, might as well. For I and 0 to 1 inclusive. And we don't care about the I, we just want to do it twice, and I think we're good. I believe that actually just should create our ppm. Let's take a look at it. Status. Open tests colors screen.ppm. Okay, so that's very wrong, but it's interesting at least. What is the deal with that file? File. Size is 160 by 192. That's right. That's why. Because I did it entirely wrong. So this is width times 2 times 3, and then height times 4 times 2. That's, I think, what we figured out. And I can't do that way. So this is width times 2 and height width times 3, height times 2. Add this to our dictionary so I don't have to look at it again. Dictionary. Open. Hey, that is slightly off aspect ratio, but that is good enough for us. That is the image. So that's pretty cool. I think we're probably at the point where I'm gonna leave. I think we've done everything on our plan for this. So then I need to get into the build script stuff. But so what we've done today, let's actually just do it, and let's do it for one of our binaries, and we'll see what that looks like. And I'll actually commit it to the repo with everything. So okay, so we'll do cargo run record. We're actually going to do colors this time for real, and then we're going to do hello colors.bin, and then so we're recording that information, and we have our colors, and then we exit. So what I'll see there is if I cp into test colors, and then I open a cat recording. Cool. All you have there is quit and the time that it happened. And then I'm going to open my screen dot ppm, and there that is, which is pretty cool. Let's do a file of that screen dot ppm file. It's a PBM image data size 480. Yep, raw bits, pixmap, all that good stuff. So then I'll be able to come back and compare this. That is not very big. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, cool. Um, so I'm gonna make when an output fails when I do the test runner eventually. When an output fails, I'll make it much bigger so it's better to like easier to inspect. So let me actually test cd get add tests colors star. Oh yeah, let's get rid of this. Um, so that adds a bunch of junk I have at this top level, but that's fine. I'll get rid of that pretty soon. Add the binary bin. Add the screen bin. Oh yeah, I can't dash tests. Colors. Star dot status. Okay. I think I need to add that get ignore. Output ppm file for inspection. But I'm really curious is about whether GitHub will do that all correctly. I'll just do a git push. It'd be nice to be able to just like look at the screens in GitHub. So github.com. It's gonna make me sign in again. It's fine. And Stanley. Test colors. And it doesn't display the ppm. GitHub what image formats will display in repo. Hey, Nomad Pixel. Um, oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for taking a look at this. I have a bunch of videos to actually upload. I've done a fair amount. Let me give you. I'm about to be done for the day, but let me give you an overview. I just was curious what GitHub would show in image formats. So basically, here's where we got with the emulator. Cargo run. Um, this is my my tic-tac-toe bin. Um, so I've got everything that I need to make this actually work in its entirety. Um, you see that's a draw because it's always a draw unless I lose. Yeah, and I'll show you a little bit more. So I can lose on purpose. Yeah. I don't think I can make it win, although I may have like found a way around it. Um, so uh so then um I put in the hello colors, this like common hello world sort of Atari program. that displays all the colors. So I had to implement that. Um, Nothing special there. Um, but I was saying earlier that like um, there's a lot of functionality that like my little tic tac toe game doesn't touch at all, and a lot of particulars. And the goal for today and probably the next time around is basically to figure out a way to like actually automate, like test this stuff in an automated way. So I basically built something that um here, I'll show you what we just did. See if I can find it. Um uh the instructions are already tested, so that is another thing I did. I did that off camera because that took a while. No, I want to like test the whole emulator. So basically, what I'm going to do, I made this way to record something. So we'll say tic tac toe, and we'll record tic tac toe.bin. And then as I play this, it's recording my inputs and like the clock cycles at which they happen. And when I escape, it like gets a screen capture. So basically, if I cd into tests tic tac toe, and then look at that, um, and then I cat my recording.txt, you can see these are the clock cycles. These are all the inputs, including the quit. Um, and then I can open the screen, and it's literally what I saw when I quit. Uh, yeah. And so then the goal, that's what I did today. And so then the goal is Vim, and then what was it? Plan. It's basically to get a build script going for tests that watches that tests that particular directory, which I can't remember what it's called because my memory is shot. But that watches that for changes, automatically builds some integration tests that pull in that that image and the list of commands that happen and run them against the emulator. And then if there's a diff, I'm going to generate a ppm file where all the pixels that are different are highlighted, right? So I think that, yeah, that's sort of my next stream. Yeah. I had this sort of idea for like I used to do, I had a one project that I did for a long time that like was heavy into image processing, and like we would sometimes change something and get like random like really weird output that was hard to debug, and we would sometimes wouldn't find it until like a customer found it or something like that. And I had this idea with that, but it was a little too, I don't know if it was non-deterministic, but it was too hard to pin down all the variables. It was probably deterministic. But this is pretty easy. Like we have a like really basic system, and like there's no random behavior. There's no sort of like there's nothing. Randomness is like simulated by like in the case of that tic tac toe game, whether you start or not is determined by when exactly you start the game. So like when you hit the button, like what frame you're on. Um, and basically if we know what clock cycle the input happened, we can always uh, trigger that input at exactly that time. So that's the, yeah, PSW to compare. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, right. I get the exact same like buffer, like pixel buffer basically. Um, so I think that should work for me. And then so when I go to implement all these other features, I'm doing so in a way that like isn't regression proof, um, or regression resistant anyway. Um, so unfortunately, I am actually uh about to wrap up. I will upload. I'm gonna try to get it tonight. I might not get all of them because it takes forever to actually like render the videos, but um I'll start that soon. We don't have many people here, but let's see. Sorry, lingering cough. Oh yeah. Oh, Isitsu, did you want to see? Um, that's the ppm we're outputting of the like the state when it's done. So figured all that out. So yeah, let's see. I am amazed. I mean, I've been streaming for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it feels like it's forever. And I don't know how some folks, I'm looking at you, Togglebit, or Finite, stream for like 8 hours straight. It's so exhausting. I don't, I'm really unsure how they do that. Coding a JSON path parser with REST. It's tagged with Python for some reason. All right. Well, thank you for joining the stream. We'll head on over to Calder TY. See you next time.